I got ripped off. A few weeks ago, I was browsing Facebook Marketplace for various things that I've always wanted. And at some point, I found these lovely looking vintage oil cans. So I began messaging the seller.
Three days later.
Gleefully, I ripped into the parcel, finding the cans nestled in newspaper, gleaming with their antique heritage. I was thrilled with how they looked and couldn't wait to put them to use. I'd even been out and scavenged a half-used bottle of old engine oil to put in the cans, so I opened them up, filled them, closed the tops, and started pumping. I pumped, and pumped, and pumped, and pumped, only to find no oil forthcoming. Seem to have chosen the windiest day of the year to film this on. So, lesson learned. Next time I buy something on Facebook Marketplace that has a function, I will check before I buy it for some kind of proof, either by going and seeing it myself or asking for a video or something from the seller, that the object actually does what it's supposed to do. But I swear to you now, that description said that they were in working order, which is why I'm a bit annoyed and why the guy kind of ripped me off. But as I say, lesson learned. My first instinct when these didn't pump oil was, okay, we'll take them apart and make a video out of it, fix them, fine. The problem with that though is that these are held together with, I think, brazing or soldering. I don't think it's welding, but it's not like mechanical fixers, fasteners, nuts and bolts that I can take apart. If I want to get these open and get the plunger things out, I'm going to have to chop them up. Mum also did suggest that I could maybe try and sell them on, as the guy said, and she found somewhere that was selling properly restored ones for like 100 quid, so if I could sell them to them for like 50 quid, I'd have doubled my money. Whether that's realistic or not, I don't know, and I think I'm at the point now, having searched around a bit, I'm going to chop them open. I'm pretty determined to make these work no matter what, no matter, you know, how long it takes, whatever, almost to teach myself a lesson to be more careful when buying things next time. Because no doubt it'll probably be quite a headache. So that's what we're going to do today, is chop these open, try and get the plunger thing out without damaging them, see how they work, make a plan for fixing them, and then inevitably at some point we'll have to learn how to braze or solder whatever to fix them back together, because although I can weld pretty badly, I've never done those other things before. Can get a bit of a closer look at them here. You can see that there is no fasteners or anything. You can see the bead of, I'm pretty sure it's brazing, so kind of like heavy duty soldering with a kind of brass filler material rather than lead or now tin round the whatever you want to call this bit, and round the handle holding it on, and the top here has been sort of crimped over, so yeah, that's why I've got to cut them open. This one's much the same despite its frilly bit. You can see the brazing going on there round the plunger, round the spout, and this one has little rivets on the handle holding it on, which I'll have to just cut off if I want to get the handle off, which I'll try and avoid, but I might have to do. So I think it's going to be, first choice of tool is going to be the Dremel, my little one. If that's not powerful enough, it'll have to be angle grinder, but I'd rather not. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to cut, or try to cut, around here, and then that way maybe when we come to put it back on, I can just put a nice bead of whatever it is, solder, braze around here, hold the whole top back on, and if it all lifts out, maybe I'll have to cut around here too. I don't know, let's just get into it, shall we? Wish me luck, let's hope this cuts it. It's not the most powerful Dremel, it's only a little one. not powerful enough. And now the other extreme, because this is too big really for this job. Oh boy. Progress on one of them. Okay, that's just lifted right off. Okay, that doesn't want to come out of there, so that's fixed on. Okay, if anything, that might be helpful. Means I don't have to cut that bit out at least. And I mean, I watched a few other oiler restorations on YouTube before starting this, and they looked fairly complicated with springs and little ball bearings and the like, but this honestly doesn't look that complex. What have we actually got here? This here is not a tube, it's a solid little rod, which just seats into the bottom of the plunger here, and then that pushes, I think, down and towards the spout, compresses that spring, and then somehow pumps oil. How though? I do not know. And also how I get it apart, I do not know without breaking anything. Oil everywhere. Okay, rain stopped play for a little while, and now ignorance is stopping play for a little while. I've chopped the tops off both of them. This one, the lid would need to come past the top of the plunger there in order to come off completely. Come on, there, so that's as far as it goes. So they seem to both have roughly the same construction. And I was doing a bit of research, and someone said that they were gravity, and I thought, no, is it just that I need to tip them up in order to get oil to flow through that filter, and that's where the plunger mechanism is, that's where the pressure builds, and that's how it comes out the spout. But then I poured some oil in to cover the filter, tipped it up like this and was pumping, and a little bit dribbled out of the spout on this one, but not tons. And so I think there's still something not quite right, but I don't know how to get in there, or really how they are supposed to pump oil full stop. So I really need to go away and do some more research, I think. Then if I do figure anything out, I then need to potentially get parts or learn how to solder them back together. So I think this is about as far as I can go with them today. So apologies if we weren't very productive in today's video, but hey, I'm determined to keep going with these, so stick with me, and God only knows when I'll next get around to being able to film them. But I think that's all for today, so I'll see you next time.